Hey y'all, it's your girl Stephanie. This is Wrestling in Color Podcast right here on YouTube. Please make sure you thumbs up or thumbs down. Make sure you follow me, keep up with me, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I want to welcome all my new subbies, y'all over here listening to the content. Go through all of it. It's a lot of content on this page. Get through as much as you can get through. Hit me in the comments and tell me how you feel. Let's have a conversation. I love talking to you guys. Follow me on the Instagram and the Twitter, because I'm also over there and I can talk to you over there too, and we can talk. A lot of stuff is going on and going down. So I figured I'm gonna just talk about something fun before I get back to the usual roasting of the powers that be in the wrestling community and the internet wrestling community, right? So I think I did all the housekeeping. Now I was on the internet, minding my own business, and I came across this thing called the Wrestling Mount Rushmore. So if you're not familiar with Mount Rushmore, it's basically a rock with the four founding, quote unquote, founding fathers chiseled into it. I think it's George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and two other motherfuckers. I don't know. I think Thomas Jefferson's up there. Anyway, so these colonizers took this Indian rock and chiseled these four white slave owners into it, and that's what Mount Rushmore is, and a lot of people like to go look at it and all that other bullshit. So, wrestling Mount Rushmore hints. So I sat down, and I tell you, to get the men's wrestling Mount Rushmore was not hard, but when I get to the women's, it's like, I guess the way I put my Mount Rushmore of wrestling together consists of popularity, consists of impact to wrestling, consists of style and grace. And if I wanted to sit down and watch them, if I still go back 20, 25, 35 years later to watch a particular match from a particular wrestler, that person most likely will be on my Mount Rushmore. Okay, especially if they had a lot of memorable moments. They are still revered to this day and relevant in the wrestling community. With that being said, a couple of wrestling Rushmores I came across was, I'm just going to read a few and then I'm going to get into mine. Somebody put Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena, and Roman Reigns, which they say they use that as the most dominant superstars of their generations. I saw Miz, Alex Riley, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel. Now, I think these folks are joking, but it's cute. Vince McMahon, Stone Cold, Rock, and Hogan. I seen Beastion Booger, Dink, The Great Khali, and David Arquette. One more we're going to go with. Somebody said Brett, Austin, Undertaker, HBK, Foley, RVD, Zabu, HBK, Edge, Undertaker, Flair, and Austin. Somebody said, why is it all modern day? Listen, if you're that deep in wrestling where you could go all the way back and pull out somebody like the Boogeyman or, someone from the fucking 1950s, have at it. I seen Arn Anderson up there. Okay? Like, do what you need to do. So with that being said, this is my wrestling Mount Rushmore for men. I chose The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, because when he got finally put that fucking Versace t-shirt on and them shades and busted loose from the Nation of Domination, it was no going back. Stone Cold Steve Austin, listen, that glass is iconic. He's still relevant today. He's like everyone's, abusive drunk uncle who's still cool and get pussy. Booker T. Booker T is not on no one's Mount Rushmore, but he's on mine because, first of all, Booker T, when I watched WCW and Harlem Heat, I loved watching him. Booker T is hilarious. He has comedic timing. Booker T does not take himself seriously and was able to bring some of the best segments to this day that is still relevant and we still talk about them. And if you want to introduce a young person to wrestling, tell me you don't pull out that damn grocery store situation between him and Stone Cold, or he was at the bingo hall and told that woman to shut up. Listen, Spinneroonie, King Booker, you can't beat it. Okay, not to mention he should have been the first black American to win a major title, meaning the main title. the WWE Championship, F Championship, but we all know how that went, so I'm not going to go down that road in this particular one. But he is the five-time WCW champion. He is great. Booker T is on Stephanie's Mount Rushmore. And the final person I had to grapple with. But then I had to sit back and I had to realize I still go back and watch this man wrestle. I still go back and watch this man talk shit. I still go back and even get emotional watching his match in his supposed retirement match between what's his name? Heartbreak Kid at WrestleMania. Ric Flair is on my Mount Rushmore, y'all. Ric Flair, listen, he bought good matches. He bought you the shit talking level was outrageous and astronomical. He set the standard when it comes to that. Okay. The appearance, the clothes, everything. Outside of these men's personal lives, Booker T is probably the only one who's unscathed, as far as I'm concerned. Because he had his wife and they got them kids. But them other ones, woo child. So, and The Rock, pretty much unscathed, okay? That's my men's wrestling Mount Rushmore. Now, when we talk about women, no one really has a woman's Mount Rushmore. And it's very, very difficult to do because I, as a black female, I look for some type of representation. So the same criteria counts when it comes to the woman's Mount Rushmore. This is my female. Now, you might not even know who this last one is, but we'll get to it. And here we go. Chyna. Chyna is the first woman to have a championship in the WWE modern day, because it was the 90s. It's still modern. It was still present day era. Although her life was thrown into a tizzy after that situation with her and Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, Chyna is a trailblazer and paved the way, and I enjoy Chyna wrestling. Went back and watched Chyna when Chyna was on TV. I wanted to see the nice one of the world. She is on my Mount Rushmore. On my Mount Rushmore is Jazz. Jazz is a brawler. Jazz, if I had to compare Jazz to a wrestler today, it would have to be, oh my goodness, it would have to be, what is his name y'all tell me in the comments. His name from NXT UK. I enjoy watching him. He's paired with Matt Riddle, the Bruiserweight. I can't remember his name right now. She wrestles like him. When I tell you I watched her and Trish Stratus match, that woman beat the dog shit out of Trish Stratus. I'm sitting here like, I have to give it to Trish. She took that ass whooping. Every time Jazz had Trish Stratus in the ring, she was tearing that woman ass up. Jazz is on my Mount Rushmore. Jacqueline is on my Mount Rushmore. She was a small package. She did the best she could. Her titties used to always, for some reason, pop out in mid-match, but she kept going. And her wrestling style was great. She played a great role when she was on WWE, and I enjoyed Jacqueline. And I think she needs her stars. She's also inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, and that's great. But Jacqueline and Jazz, they were not utilized properly because they were not considered desirable in WWE, in wrestling, period. Jazz is still wrestling, by the way, guys. You can follow her Twitter. My last one is the First Lady of Wrestling. She debuted in 1951. She was in a Jet magazine article as the first black woman wrestler. She wrestled out of Detroit, Baltimore, and Charlotte. She made about $300 a week for her work. She was considered to be one of, if not one of the most popular black American women in wrestling. Her name is Ethel Johnson. That ma'am will be on my Mount Rushmore. And, looking back at how a lot of our history, black American history, is suppressed, I think it would help if I also did a spotlight on our pioneer black women wrestling. Because the men, they get spotlighted. But you have these women that I could name to you, you wouldn't fucking know what I'm talking about. I know people will bring up Alundra Blaze and Trish Stratus and Lita and all of them, and that's cool. But let's be real. When the black gals got on the main stage, they showed and proved and didn't get their just due. So this is it. I'm going to leave it right here, and I want you guys to do one thing for me. If you made it to the end of this video, I want you to put pound wrestling Mount Rushmore and give me your men and women Mount Rushmore picks. Okay? All right, y'all. This was a fun one. Something to break the monotony of what's going on. I appreciate each and every one of you. Keep telling your friends about me. Keep subscribing. Keep up. Keep supporting me. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm having a good time. And I'll be back here with you on the flip side. Later.